Hi, everybody. Welcome to Stop Being Sold, a community of informed consumers who are sick and tired of being sold financial products they don't understand or need. So if you are tired of being a transaction, go ahead and hit that notification bell and also the subscribe button so you never miss another video from us. How are you today, Brian?
Doing great, Michelle. How about yourself?
All right. Can't complain.
Awesome.
Today's video, I'm excited for today's video though, because we're going to be talking about what kind of returns can I expect or can people expect with annuities. And as you and I both know, annuities are very polarizing. People love them or they hate them. And then there are the people, well, love, hate them. And then there are the people in between, whether they have them or not, who don't quite understand what they are. There's a lot of confusion around it. So let's just dive in. Annuities. What kind of returns can people expect?
Simple answer. It depends. It truly depends on several different things, Michelle. One, probably the easiest thing is the type of annuity that you actually have.
Because a fixed is very different than a variable, which is very different than a MIGA. And
yeah, completely different ball games. The contract that you have, the type of annuity, also the declared interest rates of the annuity, also the caps or participation rates inside the annuity. How about the performance of the indexes that your annuity tracks? Or in the case of a variable annuity, the performance of the subaccounts of the investments that you have chosen.
Okay. So quick question on that. The declared interest rates of the annuity, that's what's in the contract.
That's what's in the contract, right?
Listed in the contract. All right. And so what is the difference? You're talking about interest earned. What is the difference between interest earned and a return? Or is there a difference?
Yeah, there is a huge difference. And Michelle, this creates one of the big confusions around annuities. And take a look at some of our videos that we've already done. And besides watching the videos, take a look at the comments below the videos. And here's the reason why. You'll see how polarizing annuities are.
Right.
Some people absolutely love their annuities because they bought it for the right reason. Other people say, oh, they're all garbage, right. You lose money. Well, the difference between this is where the returns versus interest earned comes in. The only way you're going to lose money in an annuity is with the return side of it. Variable annuities are tied to the stock market, okay? That the word returns talks about investment returns.
Okay.
Fixed and indexed annuities earn interest, not returns. So your variable annuities, since they're tied to the stock market, they earn investment returns based on the portfolio of the subaccounts that you have chosen. Now, they can go up in a good year. They can go down in a bad year. You can physically lose money inside of a variable annuity.
And there are no guarantees in variable, like there are with fixed.
Right. And think about this. If you bought the variable annuity for income in the future, let's say the market's down for 1 to 2 years. That does happen. That could lower your income payments for you in the future. There's no caps on the amount of money you can make or lose inside of a variable annuity.
Okay.
Now let's go to the other side. MIGAs, which are multi-year guaranteed annuities, fixed annuities, and indexed annuities earn interest. Think of a bank account. Think of CDs. You earn interest. Insurance companies pay interest on these MIGAs, fixed and indexed annuities. So with a MIGA, for example, the insurance company guarantees you a set rate of interest for a specific time.
Right.
For example, 5-year MIGA may pay you 3.25% for the whole 5 years of the contract. You will know exactly the interest that will be paid to you over the course of the whole product, over the 5 years, right? You can actually calculate it and say, here it is. Here's exactly what I'm going to get in 5 years. And you're guaranteed never to lose your money in there.
Okay.
Then we go to like fixed annuities. Again, this goes back to the type of annuity that you have will help you determine the type of either interest or returns that you can get. So now let's talk about fixed annuities. The insurance company declares, it sounds like a MIGA, but could be different, declares the interest that you'll be paid and for how long. For example, let's say you bought a 10-year fixed annuity and the interest rate could be 5% for the first 3 years and 2% for the remaining years of the contract. You will know exactly what interest is paid to you, and you're also guaranteed never to lose your money. With a fixed annuity, they could change the rate in the latter years of the contract, but it usually is declared. You know what.
I was going to say up front, you know exactly what it is going into it. Okay.
And then
again,
the last one,
it's so important to read these contracts before you sign off.
It's all about the contract. It truly is. And then let's go into fixed indexed annuities. Now, this is different because these at times depend on the advisor. The advisor may speak out of turn on how these actually perform and may compare them to the market because they track indexes like the S&P 500.
Right.
Okay. So remember, this is a fixed annuity. The insurance company pays interest. So the interest you earn will be based upon the performance of a market index like the S&P 500 up to the cap or to the participation rate.
Okay.
So let's go into detail what a cap is and what a participation rate and help you understand the difference.
I was going to say we need to define that participation rate for sure. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll let you
So here's an example of a fixed index annuity with a cap of 3% on the performance of the S&P 500 index over a 12-month period.
Okay.
And how interest is applied. Most of these contracts, Michelle, redo every 12 months. So if you bought the product December 1st of this year, December 1st of next year, you get your annual statement and it redoes it. It starts to cap over. So if the index is up 2.5% during the last 12 months, you'll get 2.5% interest on that portfolio, right?
Okay, that's what you earned. Yes. Okay. What was earned? Okay.
Yeah. You did not get the cap of 3%. You got up to the cap. Okay. Cap is the very top. It'd be like your glass ceiling. So, but here's where it comes into play. If the index is up 5% during that 12-month period, you're only getting 3% interest because you hit the cap.
Okay. Okay.
So, but
so what happens if it's down, if the index is down?
And this is where people get confused and people say, oh, you lose money in annuities all the time. No, you don't. In the indexed, if the index is down let's say 1% that year in this product, you receive 0 interest.
But you don't lose money. You just you don't get interest.
You didn't gain anything. Okay. So let me ask you this, Michelle. You're protected from losses. But you're limited to the upside of what your cap is, right? But let's say the market dropped 20% on your portfolio. In the indexed annuity, you're a hero. And it's funny, one of the slangs you keep hearing all the time, zero's a hero. And you saved your principal. It's one of the big features that makes sense with an indexed annuity.
Okay. Okay. All right. So that's index annuity. You explained participation cap. What happens if, can you give us another example if the participation rate is higher?
Yeah, let's take the participation rate because it's different than the cap. Okay.
Right.
The cap was a set amount. So 3% of what the S&P 500 does. But this here, let's say the participation rate is 25% of the performance of the S&P 500 index for a 12-month period. Okay. Here's how the interest is applied. Let's say the S&P 500 index up 15% during that year. You will get 3.75% interest on your portfolio. So you take the 15% times 25% participation rate. That gives you 3.75%. Okay. And here's where, Michelle, we get a lot of complaints. And you hear complaints about the annuities. Oh my gosh, the market was up 15%. I only got 3.75.
Right.
But In the previous scenario, you had no downside risk. You didn't lose anything in the latter year. So where you see complaints on this is when the market is up substantially,
not when it's
and
low.
you're getting low caps and participation rates.
Okay.
So let's go one step further. Let's say the index is up 30% during that year. You'll get 7.5% interest. So you can still make decent returns in these, but you're limited to the upside depending on the cap or the participation. So that, how you calculate that is 30% S&P 500 times your 25% participation rate, you earn 7.5% interest. But again, if the market's down that year, you're protected from your losses. You just don't receive any interest that year.
It just stays flat. Okay.
It stays flat.
So question for you in these contracts, is it there is a cap or a participation rate? Is one or the other? Or can you have a combination?
Actually, there's usually a combination, Michelle, inside most indexed annuities out there. So let's just use indexed annuities. You'll see participation rates, and today we only use the S&P 500. There's some of them have the Dow, some of them have the NASDAQ, some of them have some different indexes you may never have heard of before, which is common. You start to see these different indexes that they come out with that have higher participation rates because the cost of buying them is lower, so you can get higher caps. But the problem, Michelle, is each year you get to pick and choose. Okay, so you'll get a list, kind of like a 401k statement. Here's your list of options. Each year you've got to reallocate. What I guess my problem with most advisors out there, not many advisors go back and do that annual review to help the consumer pick and choose which one may be the best option for them for the next 12 months. One of the biggest reasons for that, Michelle, is a lot of advisors that market fixed and indexed annuities are not investment managers. They don't understand the stock market. They're complete just insurance salespeople. So that's a huge difference, and you've got to understand the market. I love indexed annuities to me as a bond portfolio, because instead of like the rise in interest rate where we're at right now, as the interest rates move up, bond prices go down, the market still is performing well. I can use an indexed annuity to capitalize on some returns for consumer up to what the cap or participation rate is each year.
Makes sense. All right, so what kind of returns can you expect? Just to recap, it really depends on the type of annuity you have, right? It's also depends on the declared interest in the contract, that upfront. And I mean, caps, if you talk about caps, performance rates, participation rates, I should say, and then performance of the indexes. And then if you're in variable annuities, there's performance of the sub-accounts that you're in. Right. So really it's about reading every annuity video is like I'm a broken record, but read the contract. Because each contract, even if I have a fixed and you have a fixed, our contracts could be very different.
Completely different. Could be, and it could be based on the company too. Different companies have different variations of these indexes, different caps, different interest rates. It's very common to see a huge disparity between companies to companies. So
it's important, read the fine print. Just read the fine print. Even if you have one now, if you're watching this and you have an annuity or more than one different type, it's really important. I'm speaking from experience here. Go read the fine print so you know what you're in, you know what you're invested in, and there are no surprises down the road. And then you can make better decisions in general about your financial future. So is there anything else we need to cover on this topic?
Yeah, basically, Michelle, we're back to the normal. Pay attention to the fine print of the contract, understand what you're buying, and make sure it fits your specific needs.
Awesome. And go ahead and hit that like button if you found this content valuable. Also, we'll put a link or two in the description below. But if you just check out our YouTube channel, we have a ton of videos on taxes and annuities, types of annuities, variable annuities explained, fixed annuities. We've covered a lot of it. So I do highly recommend, if you have an annuity or you're looking to get one, go check those out so that you can make a better informed decision. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching, and thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Michelle. Have a great day.